For us to hear and learn of the word of truth that's given to us by the Most High God. All honor goes to the Father through the Son, whose name is Yahushua. In him lies the only hope for salvation. We know that it is obtained by grace through faith, not of works, lest anyone should boast, and given freely as a gift to all who obey him. We understand that if you do not obey him, it is made manifest or made obvious that you do not believe. In this state, you should expect no good thing. However, anything that you do get, whether it be a gift of tongues, a gift of prophecy, a fancy new home, a new car, new job, new family, baby, you know what I'm saying, whatever it may be, you know what I'm saying, it can and it will be used against us in the day of judgment if we do not repent. That said, peace to the saints that are in the room, to the saints that couldn't make it, ones watching in on the camera, but no peace to the wicked. The only thing we say to them is repent, that they might live. Right? Where we leave off last week? Ezra. Give me Ezra chapter 5. Who remember what we talked about last week? It's Ezra chapter 5.
We talked about Judas.
We were talking about Judas. Because...
Oh, the prophecy of Judas. So $30. Or $30.
I'll take $30.
30 pieces of silver.
$20. Right? So yeah, we were talking about Judas because we were reading in the book of Zechariah where it was a prophecy about Yahushua. Remember, he had two. He said, you know what I'm saying, your shepherd. You know what I'm saying? The shepherd didn't take care. So he said, I'm a shepherd. I'm a shepherd the sheep. Right? The sheep that was made for the slaughter. Remember, they slaughter them, and what they do? How they view themselves after they slaughtered the sheep?
Fine.
View themselves fine?
Yeah,
how they held themselves not guilty, yeah. Right? Then he said, I came into it. He said, I'm gonna be the shepherd then. Right? So he said, I took two staves. You know what I'm saying? It was beauty and bonds. You know what I'm saying? You remember that?
Yes,
right. Then he came in and he said, all right, you know what? Then he said, he told us what his price was. He threw the price of 30 pieces of silver, I believe, to the potter's field. Right? Then we read that, okay, we tied that into Judas. We were looking like, okay, well, Judas, he collected that money, right? Same amount of money, right? Collected it, sold Yahushua out, and then when he found that Yahushua was condemned, then he came back, tried to give it back. They was like, man, they ain't got nothing to do with us, right? And they went out and took that money and they bought the potter's field, right? And then Judas went and killed himself, right? So we were looking at it. Y'all turn that down, and y'all be quiet down there. And Zahar, bring me some, you know what I mean? Bring me some water. They about to beat up.
That thing real. It's a Sonic party going on down there.
Somebody about to beat up. Somebody turn that TV off until I can figure out how to turn it down.
My daughter will rat out everybody, bro. Make no mistake.
So I can concentrate with this stuff going on. So yeah, we read that about Zechariah, but then what else we read? Remember, we jumped over into Ezra 4. All right, they started building.
Oh.
And what else happened?
The Gentiles.
Gentiles, right? What did Gentiles do?
They was trying to build with them.
But what happened when they tried to come?
We wouldn't let them.
Why wouldn't we let them?
They don't got no parts in what we do.
What kind of Gentiles were they? Were they regular Gentiles?
No, they was what Samaritans.
Right? They are what later would be called Samaritans, right? At the time, they wasn't called Samaritans. Appreciate you, son. At the time, they wasn't called Samaritans, but these were the people that the king of Assyria brought into our land when he exiled the northern kingdom. Right? So they came by, they was like, let us help. We told them, nah, you ain't got nothing to do with this. But how did they react when we told them no?
Oh, they started hating. They sent letters to the king, like, man, don't let them set up there.
Convince the king. Who's the king at this time?
Was it Xerxes?
Xerxes, right? Xerxes, y'all seen 300?
Yeah.
That's him. Right?
Yeah, he was they made him look a little Mexican. Xerxes was a black dude.
Yeah, that's him. Right? That's the one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he didn't look like that. You know what I'm saying? But that's the one. That's the person that they're trying to depict. Right? So you look at it, it's like, okay, hold on. So now the king is against us because they wrote a letter. Remember the king, they was like, listen, these people, they never pay tribute. If you look through your records, look through the history, you'll see that these people been a problem for every kingdom. The only time they are is when they running the show. So by helping them out, you pretty much trying to turn over your kingdom. So the king was like, all right, go shut them down. Right? Let's pick it up in Ezra chapter 5. This is verse 1. We're just going to shoot through this. We ain't even going to spend a whole lot of time. We're going to shoot through it.
Then the prophets Haggai, the prophet, and Zechariah, the son of Edo, prophesied unto the Jews that they were in Judah and Jerusalem in the name of God, in the name of the God of Israel.
So over the last 2 weeks, what prophet books have we been reading out of?
Zechariah and Haggai.
And Haggai. So we know by reading Ezra, this is all in the same time period, right? We've been through it. So we started off at Genesis, and what we tried to do so far, we tried to keep everything in the same time period, right? And kind of read the books, right? If you just read through the book, you'd be all over the darn place. But what we try to do, okay, let me connect you so that we can kind of relive some of this stuff as it's happening. You know what I'm saying? We can kind of see it how it's going, kind of see everything in context, at least the best we can. It ain't perfect, but we try the best we can. You know what I'm saying? That's how you kind of have to understand. Well, that's the best way for me personally to understand it, and I find that that's the best way for me to teach it. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of teach it in chronological order. You can kind of understand what's going on. This is who was saying it at the time. And then from there, we might jump around and bounce around, but we do it in context of what's actually happening. You know what I mean? Let's see. Let's keep going.
Then rose up Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, and Yahushua, the son of Josadak, and began to build the house of God, which is at Jerusalem. Mm-hmm. And with them were the prophets of God helping them. At the same time came to them Tatnai, governor on this side of the river, and Shethazar Boznai and their companions, and said unto them, who has commanded you to build this house and to make up this wall? Mm-hmm. Then said we unto them after this manner, what are the names of the men that make this building? But the eye of their God was upon the elders of the Jews, that they could not cause them to cease, till the matter came to Darius, and then they returned answer by letter concerning this matter. The copy of the letter that Tatnai, governor on this side of the river, and Shethar Boznai and his companions, the Arpakshites, which were on this side of the river, sent unto Darius the king. They sent a letter unto him, wherein was written thus, unto Darius the king, all peace, be it known unto the king, that we went to the province of Judah, to the house of the great God, which is built with great stones, and timber is laid in the walls, and this work goes fast on, and prospers in their hands. Mm-hmm. Then asked we those elders, and said unto them thus, who commanded you to build this house, and to make up these walls? Mm-hmm. We asked their names also to clarify thee, that we might write the names of the men that were chief of them. Mm-hmm. And thus they returned us answer, saying, we are the servants of the God of heaven and the earth.
Right, so they returned them answers saying, we serve the Most High God. Right, watch this.
And build the house that was built these many years ago, which the great king of Israel built and set up.
All right, and we rebuilding the house that the great king of Israel. You see, they ain't back off of nothing. Right, they stood on it. All right, they knew what the king was feeling. The king was like, all right, man, you know what I'm saying? We're going to shut y'all down because y'all want your own kingdom. So you would think the last thing that we're going to mention is a great king of Israel. We know the king already, you know what I'm saying? He already ain't feeling that. Right nowadays, people are trying to compromise, try to back off. They're like, oh, you know what I'm saying? I ain't do that. But no, we subvert one, we serve the Most High God. Let's just get that out. You know what I'm saying? Let's just we serve the Most High God, so we ain't even think about what y'all talking about. And we rebuilding the house that the great king of Israel built. You know, the one who had the empire. His name is Solomon. Check your records. Right? We running the whole darn show. Check your records. Right? And just laid it out there for him. All right, let's see what else.
But after that our fathers had provoked the God of heaven to wrath, he gave them into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, the Chaldean, who destroyed this house and carried the people away into Babylon. But in the first year of Cyrus, the king... He said
in the first year what?
Cyrus, the king of Babylon, the same King Cyrus made a decree to build this house of God.
We remember that, don't we? All right, keep going.
And the vessels also of gold and silver of the house of God, which Nebuchadnezzar took out of the temple that was in Jerusalem and brought them to the temple of Babylon. Those did Cyrus the king take out of the temple of Babylon, and they were delivered unto one whose name was Shishbazzar, whom he had made governor, and said unto him, take these vessels, go, carry them into the temple that is in Jerusalem, and let the house of God be built in its place. Then came the same Sheshbazzar and laid the foundation of the house of God, which is in Jerusalem. And since that time, even until now, has it been in building, and yet it is not finished. Now therefore, if it seem good to the king, let there be search made in the king's treasure house, which is there at Babylon, whether it be so, that a decree was made of Cyrus the king to build the house of God in Jerusalem, and let the king send his pleasure to us concerning this matter.
Right? So you know how it works. People give half of the story. Right? They told them all about Israel and how bad and everything was, because they hate it. Right? But they didn't give the part of the story where a king, right? He said, y'all go build the house. So now the king, the current king, he didn't know about the last king that told him, you know what I'm saying, y'all go build it. So he trying to figure it out. He checked the history for what the Gentiles said. He's like, oh, the Gentiles telling the truth. He go out and he send a decree to have them stop building. So then they stop building, but now they come to him, they like, well, listen, this is what really happened. Go tell the king to check these records. Watch, we'll see what happened now.
Then Darius the king made a decree, and search was made in the house of the rolls, where the treasures were laid up in Babylon. And there was found at Achmetha, in the place that is in the province of the Medes, a roll, and therein was a record thus written. In the first year of Cyrus the king, the same Cyrus the king made a decree concerning the house of God in Jerusalem. Let the house be built, the place where they offered sacrifices, and let the foundations be strongly laid. The height, therefore, 80 cubits, and put the breadth thereof 80 cubits.
Look at that, he gave me measurements of that thing.
With 3 rows of great stones and a row of new timber, and let the expenses be given out of the king's house.
Let me tell you something. These people are trying to tell us that right now these people are telling them, get out of Babylon. Right? Get out of Babylon. Escape Babylon. Let me tell you something. Whenever we are in captivity, there is no example of us having to escape. Having to sneak out, having to lie, having to cheat, having to steal, having to do anything. We always leave at the command of the person who's in charge. Anything we do, whoever is in charge, whoever has the authority over that land, is the one who tells us to go do it at God's command. These people take away, they don't even realize it, but they take away the glory from God by trying to devise their own little plan. You got people right now that stealing people money, coming up with scams, doing all types of stuff just to get out of here and go to Africa.
They said that boys wild because we're trying to do that thing.
You got a whole community of people about 50 something years ago that stole credit cards, did all types of stuff, they say, you know what I'm saying, left Chicago, did whatever they could to make it over into Africa, and then they made it into Israel. And right now they have a community in Israel, right? But what did you have to do to get there? So now when the Most High God comes, let's just put it out. They gonna say, guess who took them there?
God.
That's gonna be their testimony. Their testimony is gonna be, God took us here. The Most High God, Yah took us here, right? But now your cousin who you asked to borrow money from, but you never paid it back, who she say took you there? Well, I paid for that ticket. And you still ain't paid me back for it. So who get the glory then, in her mind? It's different now if some plagues hit her butt. And she recognized that as coming from who? And then she said, you know what, here, just take it and go. Notice what the difference is. Same money, coming from the same person. But the motivation for giving it to you is different. One is I gave it to you under the pretense that you're going to pay me back. The other one, I'm giving it to you out of pretense that if I get it to you, maybe your God will stop whooping my butt. Guess who gets the glory in that situation? Part 2 of it is God. That's what God is looking for. All this stuff that we go through, you can think of the most, you know what I'm saying, most heinous, a man or a woman being raped. It's not worse than that, right? We kind of look at that as like, that's just the worst thing ever. Whereas God would look at it and be like, oh, it's flesh. The flesh gonna burn. The flesh gonna go away. It's gonna go to dust. It's gonna be like, it's all right. Obey my, like no matter what happened to you, obey my word, I'll renew you. That body that's been defiled by this man or woman that did this to you, don't even worry about it. I'll get that right out of the way. Right? We'll do away with that. I'll give you a new body. So the stuff that we think is just the most important and that we allow to weigh us down, it's natural. Don't get me wrong. It's natural for stuff to impact us and to weigh us down. Right? But we have to be supernatural. Right? We're not called to be natural. If you want to be natural, gone. Right? You know what I'm saying? Just do whatever you got to do. You want to be natural. We called to be supernatural. We called to be above that. We called to be out of the natural and be spiritual. Right? And when you think like that, you can't let a lot of this stuff affect you. You have to march forward no matter what, according to what the Most High God said. And when you do that, then you put yourself in a position where it may seem crazy to say something. It may seem crazy. You know the government is coming and telling you that they don't want you to continue doing what you're doing. That's what happened to them, right? They don't want you to continue building. Like, you have to stop. The king told you that. Did they disobey? No, they stopped building. King said don't. So when they came asking about it, did they back off? No, that's the reason why we're doing it. But we're right. Like, we had a history behind us. Tell the king go move. When you stand on it, everybody looking at that situation, they ain't got no chance. King started looking through his stuff. He's like, oh, y'all right. Cyrus did give y'all the command. Same thing with us. When it's time for us to get up out of here, it's going to be Trump telling us, all right, go on. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Look, I ain't going to give you reparations, but you know what I mean? I'll buy you first class tickets. Yeah, I mean, that's just how I like to imagine it. Listen, that's just how I like to imagine. I buy you first class tickets. Take your butt over into the wilderness. Don't even worry about it. Here, look. Take this also. Make a sacrifice to the Most High God for
I think this country will go broke super fast if we all let.
Oh, they out here?
Like super fast.
They out here. Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? For this to work, you got to have a consumer that, you know what I'm saying? We talked about it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a consumer that's limited. You know what I'm saying? For a lot of these companies to make a lot of money, you got to have this consumer that's just limited. You know what I'm saying? Once you remove that limited consumer out of the way, you know what I'm saying? That's the reason why they don't want us to compete. You know what I'm saying? It's not profitable. It's not profitable for us to compete like that. You know what I'm saying? They think what they gonna do is be able to replace us with these Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? They got another thing coming though.
Yeah, Mexicans ain't having that.
Yeah, they got another thing coming.
Yeah, Mexicans gonna be like, nah. And then the Mexican government or the country of Mexico will be like, y'all got my people messed up.
And that's where the rub is. That's where the rub. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta understand that all of these people that you let into your country have an actual country. You know what I'm saying?
And they will fight.
And a government that will back them when it's in their interest. So just think about your population growing by these people. Like, even so already, you know what I'm saying? You got these people trying to get over the border, and Mexico is paying, you know what I'm saying, fines to the people that illegally cross the border. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you illegally cross the border, Mexico, the country, is paying some of their fines. It's like, that's different. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. So imagine you have all these people in here, and you treat them a certain way, and they get to a number to where it's profitable for them to help. What's going to happen? So a lot of people know that Republicans ain't stupid, right? Some of the Republicans know, but the Democrats are short term because we know what is it all about at the end of the day.
Vote.
All of it's about votes. That's it. Because the votes give you what?
A chance to win the election.
Which gives you what?
Power.
Right? Money and power is always what it comes down to, right? And really it's the same thing, right? Money, people want money because it gives them power or it gives them quick access to power, right? So it's really just about power, right? It's not even really so much about money. So that's what they do. It's like, okay, well, we had a black vote. Okay, black vote, too hard to get. Because the black vote is cheap, right? It's like, okay, for the black vote, it started off, we release you as slaves. Republicans got the black vote. Good. You know what I'm saying? Roll with it, ain't got to really do nothing else. You know what I'm saying? It's just cool. All right, Democrats come up with a great idea. Let's offer y'all some social services. You know what I'm saying? We'll give you affirmative action. We'll give you welfare. We'll give all you these things, and we're going to take care of you. Right? And they did that. And for a while, great. Right? That's why a lot of even like our parents or our parents' parents, You know what I'm saying? A lot of them that moved out this way, they had money. You know what I'm saying? Like had money, had houses, the whole West Side. That's where that come from.
Yeah, they said a lot of people moved from the South because of industrial work here.
Yeah.
They had like a lot of jobs.
Yeah, you had money, you had jobs. You know what I'm saying? You know how they got hired? They didn't get hired just because they got hired. They got hired because the Democrats put policies in place to help them get hired.
Yeah, I remember growing up on the West
School,
Side.
you know what I'm saying? A lot of them came to a lot of our parents and our grandparents. They went to school. Like it wasn't like they just was out here. They actually went to college. You know what I'm saying? Like they went to college. They learned. They had that stuff. They didn't just go to college just because, you know what I'm saying? No, it's true. The Democrats put policies in place that helped them go to college, helped them get jobs. All this stuff really did help.
Everybody had their own house.
Everybody had houses, like all that stuff. And then you can only get houses in certain places. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to thinking that you can just get a house. You know what I'm saying? You can get houses in certain places, but you had something.
Yeah.
Right? You had something, you could do it. Okay, cool. Guess what that did? We Democrats. We've been that was like the 60s, 70s. We've been voting Democrat ever since. Right? 80, 90%, you know what I'm saying, of the black people that voting Democrat, right? Okay, so that happens for a little while. But they haven't had to do nothing else. In fact, they've done the opposite. They scaled away. Affirmative action, when they first gave it to us, meant what?
Minority.
Black folk. You know what I'm saying? Minority meant black folk. You know what I'm talking about? Nowadays,
White women. Gay.
How is a white woman? You know what I'm talking about? A minority.
Yeah, women outnumber men. Like, was it 2 or 3 to 1 or something like that?
And they are the majority of the population, right? So race-wise, majority. Gender-wise, majority.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And you are considered a minority, right? But that's how it works, right? Because a Democrat, what they do is they have to, for not just Democrat, anybody, they have to leverage, like giving something for a vote. So in order to make this work, okay, we have to get the gays. Okay, so LGBT, Q, PP, Y, L, right? So you come up with all these things, do whatever. They selling themselves, but they spreading it too thin, right? So they trying to spread it to everywhere. Not everybody's gonna get taken care of. So they finally get to a point where they gotta make a choice. And it looks like they making their choice. They saying, okay, forget black folk, let's work with the Mexicans. So that's why you see when Kamala Harris, right? They asked her, "What are you gonna do specifically for black people?"
I'm not doing.
She said, "I'm not gonna do nothing specific." I mean, it felt comfortable. That's the nuts thing, craziest thing in the world. I'm not gonna do nothing specific. I would be the president of America. That'd be crazy. And she said it like that. I'm not gonna do nothing specifically for black. I'm gonna help everybody.
Man, she built her whole campaign on like trying to be black though.
Right? But guess what that same person said on the stage? I want to give free health care to every illegal immigrant.
That's crazy.
It's nuts. Right? Do we get free health care?
But we pay taxes. Bro.
No, that's not free.
That's crazy.
Right? So do we get free health
That's like
care?
a spit in the face to every American. Like,
not only do we pay taxes.
race, bro. That's like a spit in the face to every American.
Just trying to explain to my mom like a couple days ago. I'm like, just pay attention. Let these people make a fool out of you.
Forget just taxes, right? We pay taxes. Aside from taxes, do we get free health care?
No, bro, we pay for that.
We have a legal mandate to pay for health care.
Yeah, well,
If we don't pay for health care, we get taxed.
Yeah.
And you mean to tell me these people can come here illegally, hop right over the darn wall, and you want them to get it before we get it? That's nuts to me. Just me personally, let me tell you what that is to me. That's nuts. But what that is them making a choice. Let's pander to them. We not gonna say nothing. Matter of fact, we gonna make it clear that we not gonna say nothing specific. Anytime somebody asks us about reparations, guess what we gonna say? I think it should be researched. Research what? What you need to research?
Common knowledge.
What needs to be researched? Just tell me that you owe me something. You gonna pay me something. Only thing I want to hear you research is how much you gonna pay. Like, I would accept that. We owe you, and for sure you gonna get paid. I would vote for that today. If you tell me that, the only thing is we need to research how much we gonna pay. Don't research what happened. Don't research the here. We know all that. You know what I'm talking about? I just need you to know we gonna figure out how much. I can accept that. You don't know how much you want to pay. I get it. You know what I'm saying? That's a tricky subject. That's a lot of money you about to have to pay. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I take payments though. You know what I'm talking about? I take payments.
My mama told me my granddaddy's grandparent was a slave.
I don't want to hear none of that.
My granddaddy's grandparent was a slave, bro.
I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear none of that. None of that. That was a long time ago.
We keep
yeah, that's my granddad's parents. You know what I'm saying?
They keep all that stuff. So we got like all records, like our family, like.
I think my granddad's dad was a sharecropper.
Keep all that stuff.
That too, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Sharecropper too. The same thing. You know what I'm saying? We've been cheated.
Yeah, they did them for sure.
We been cheated all the way through. Right? But that's how we have to be, right? We have to be able to stand steadfast on what God gave us. We can't shake and break and just be like, okay, well, I'm in this Gentile country and all these Gentile religions and all this other stuff that we got going on, this, that, and other. So I'm leaving and I'm gonna go to a Gentile Africa.
Yep.
With the Gentile religions.
Yep.
I'm just trying to figure out what are we doing?
Well, them Africans don't even acknowledge us.
Oh no, they don't.
But I heard they were saying that in Ghana.
Oh yeah, Ghana's like, come.
But I heard they charge us like
400 years of slavery.
I heard they charge us different
come.
prices there.
In Nigeria, yeah.
They said like Ghana.
Come buy this plot of land. Come.
Yeah, like I heard like if you go to a store or if you buy something like for the Ghana for the people of Ghana it's like this much. For us it's like
You
8
know
times
what
more.
it is?
Yeah.
What you thought you were about to go down there and get it?
Yeah. I was like,
That's great.
Bro, I heard that's how it is out there. Like
Yeah,
they
that's
give
a
you a
fact.
different price. Like your price is this. You know?
Not just a different price, a different everything.
Yeah.
Different everything.
Everything's like the equity's like all thrown off.
Like they can look at you and they know you ain't from here.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
And it's not just Ghana, Nigeria, that's just how it go. Right? You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, you're not from here, they gonna get the jug out of you. They gonna look at you and be like, oh, that's an American. Raise that. You know what I'm saying? We need that. That's how it go. And it makes sense. I'll do it till you come to my darn country. It's not your country.
Yeah, in our land we used to be able to charge them interest.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It makes sense. What you know, it's my country, ain't yours. Right? That's what we have to just keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying?
No country to back us up at all.
We're not
That's
gonna
why
have
they
one.
can't, that's
You know
why
what
they
I'm
can't
saying?
treat immigrants like how they treat us. 'Cause they got a country that can back them. So we don't.
We ain't gonna have one, not until it's time. Alright? In a unique situation. But that's why we have to be able to stand fast on what the Most High God has given us. Alright, the Most High God, He's providing for us a structure, a history, and we have to be able to look into it and establish trust. Like, okay, I know you've done this before. You've shown me this consistency throughout the book. Alright, I'm gonna walk in it. Alright, I'm gonna walk in it.
Shanice, give me that brown thing behind you.
It's touches.
So when
She gave it to me.
when the as they say, when the stuff hit the fan, you know what I'm talking about? When that stuff hit the fan, we gotta be able to say, all right, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? What we doing, we moving for the Most High God. This is what He asked of us.
They're in the room.
Right? This is as far as it goes.
You got it to me.
Go ahead. It's here, right here. Sorry, bro.
Let's grab where we at?
Ezra
6.
Ezra 6. Give me a Haggai 1. Remember, we had 2 prophets in this time. It was Haggai and who else?
Zechariah.
Alright, it's Haggai chapter 1, verse 1. It's Haggai chapter 1, verse 1.
You out of line. It's so
That boy cheap, bro. He got the whole house up in here. Freezing. Now that don't make no
They put
sense.
themselves in a container with all the stuffed animals.
Okay, what y'all say? I ain't that cheap.
Hey,
Nah, that's cheap.
I'm good.
Only one.
Bro, that's crazy.
Only one ain't here complaining, acting like, you know what I'm saying?
Tasha, go cut the heater on.
You good.
Look.
Man, I'm touching my darn heater.
Why, so I can be the butt of the joke next weekend? Nah.
That's crazy.
Y'all better bundle up.
Dude, out of
Act
line.
like family.
Sleep easy.
That's my boy Corey told. He said, you better bundle up. I've been saying that thing ever since he said, I said, you know what, you darn right. I thought I was the only one.
You lose your mind if you
His
do.
wife.
The heat is so hot in my house when my mom keeps it that I sleep with my window open.
His wife said he
The
broke
window
though.
crack.
You know what I'm talking about?
Just to make
They said Corey broke. No, I ain't breaking. I might go the whole darn winter. I can deal with cold. You know what I'm saying? It's just the heat. You can't deal with no heat.
Nah, you can't.
That heat come on now. That heat come on. You turn that thing right away. You don't even play that.
You can't do nothing with the
You
heat.
see that thing start sniffing, you know what I'm saying? You see the temperature start sniffing, you know what I'm saying? 80 degrees, 70, really 78 degrees. That got that. You know what I'm saying? Now turn that thing right on, bring it back down. You know what I'm saying? That's all right. But the cold, oh, you can do something about some cold. You know what I'm saying? The cold, you can put on a couple layers. You know what I'm saying? That thing phase me.
Yeah, I do.
I be in the bed with my sweater. I go to sleep, sweater, sweatpants, socks. You know what I'm saying?
What's wrong with you?
Look. I go to sleep like that, middle of the night. I'm like, all right, and then take all them things off and go to sleep for the rest of the night. You know what I'm saying? That's how you gotta do it. Just give me enough warmth to fall asleep. After that, after I fall asleep, I can just get naked in my sleep. We good. You know what I'm saying? We be all right. You know what I'm talking about? I can get past some cold. The heat, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Heat ain't nothing you can do. You hot and you in the bed, it ain't no fixing that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing you can do to make that, you know what I'm saying? Nah, that thing ain't happening. You ain't never coming. You ever try to fall asleep hot?
That thing's
That
so
thing, good gracious. You know what I'm saying? Especially you start getting clammy and swell. Oh, that thing. Goodness, I can't stand some heat. You know what I'm talking about? The cold though? Nah, we can make that thing work. This Haggai chapter 1 verse 1. I don't know what Haggai about to be talking about.
In the second year of Darius the king, in the 6th month, in the first day of the month, came the word of the Lord by Haggai the prophet unto Zerubbabel the son of Shealtiel, governor of Judah, and to Yahushua the son of Josadak, the high priest, saying, Thus speaks the Lord of hosts, saying, This people say, the time is not come, the time that the Lord's house should be built. Then came the word of the Lord by Haggai the prophet, saying, It is time for you, O ye, to dwell in your sealed houses, and this house lie waste. Now therefore, thus says the Lord of
He
hosts.
said it's time for you to dwell in your sealed house. Your house is all nice and sealed, but all of a sudden, this house lie waste? Right? Watch this.
Now thus says the Lord, consider your ways. You have sown much and bring in little. You eat, but you have not enough. You drink, but you are not filled with drink.
Right? This is the Most High God trying to explain to you. Think about how stuff is playing out. You put all these seeds in your field, but you ain't harvest nothing. Right? You eat and you drink, but you not full. Like, why is this happening? Y'all haven't considered it? Think about this. Keep going, watch this.
Ye clothe, but there is no warmth.
Right? You putting on clothes, your butt still darn cold. Like, just think about it. Have you considered why this stuff is playing out this way? That guy gonna let them know why.
And he that earns wages to put into a bag with holes.
You know what that mean? What would we call that?
Working for free.
What's another thing we'd call it? Living what?
Check the check.
That's it. I got that. He said you earn money, you getting the, it ain't that you not getting the money. He said it, you earning the money. And you putting away in your darn bag. You ever look at your bank account? You know what I'm talking about? Like, what in the world? Where did it go? Sometimes, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I refuse to look at my bank account.
Yeah, me too.
You refuse, just like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, you know, maybe, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm pretty sure I got it. I'm pretty sure I got it. You look at that thing and be like, goodness gracious.
Don't got it.
Yep.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? You refuse that thing for too long. Being Smith, you know what I'm saying? Be looking like, you don't even want to look at it because you know that thing go, You know that thing over, Now you really stressed out because you got to use that other car. And you know that ain't your money. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
when you put that credit card, you know that's not your money. You know that thing gonna bite you in the butt 2 months from now.
Yep.
So rough day. It's rough. That's what he talking about. He said he put it in the bag. He said, but that thing got holes in it. They just seeping out. He said, have you considered? Boy, you better get away from my darn. Go back in the room. Let's see. Keep going. Let's see what we got.
You look ridiculous.
Won't be ridiculous.
Thus says the Lord of hosts, consider your ways.
Mm-hmm.
Go up to the mountain and bring wood and build the house, and I will take pleasure in it, and I will be glorified, says the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
You looked for much, and lo, it came to little. And when you brought it home, I did blow upon it.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Says the Lord of hosts. Because my house that is waste,
Leave 'em alone,
and
baby.
you run every man unto his own house.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, the heaven over you has stayed from dew, and the earth has stayed from her fruit.
Mm-hmm.
And I called for a drought upon the land, and upon the mountains, and upon the corn, and upon the new wine, and upon the oil, and upon that which the ground brings forth, and upon men, and upon cattle, and upon all the labor of the hands.
Mm-hmm.
Then Zerubbabel the son of Shealtiel, and Yahushua the son of Jozadak, the high priest, with all the remnant of the people, obeyed the voice of the Lord their God, and the words of Haggai the prophet, as the Lord their God had sent him. And the people did fear before the Lord.
Right? So we saw that they put this foundation together and they start building. We might get the impression that they built just because Cyrus told them to build. No. There was also prophets. Right? All these things are happening at once. This is kind of like where people go wrong. Right? They'll feel like one thing happens and they'll be like, oh, see, that happened in the book of this, that, and other. But what's the full story? Right? If you look at the full context, Cyrus didn't just say build. You had two prophets also at the same time telling you, yo, this is what's about to happen. Right? So when a prophet give you a sign and then something actually happened, it's like confirmation. Okay, go. Everything lining up, right? According to the word. Everything lining up with the word of the Most High God. That's what we looking for. Right? We can't just wait, you know what I'm saying? Just, Trump just pop out and say, okay, well, listen, you know what I'm saying? You Hebrews, you know what I'm saying? We acknowledge this, that, and other. That's a piece of it. You know what I'm saying? All right. But just know that the devil can do stuff like that too.
Yep.
So now you got to be like, okay, that happened. Now, word of God from a prophet, where it go? Whether it's a prophet living in our times or whether we looking into the book. Does it line up with what the book say? If Trump get on the mic and say, listen, you know what I'm saying? We're going to pay to take y'all back on Swift Beast. You know what I'm saying? Back to your land. That thing got that. I'm be like, oh, that's the word of the Most High God. Let's go. You know what I'm talking about? That got that. That thing done. You know what I'm talking about? As long as he don't say nothing that contradict, that thing done. Now, that thing, if I can't find it though, I'm looking like, I'm going to wait. Y'all go ahead, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to wait. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know how it turned out. I'm going to just wait until I can see it in the book. You know what you need.
A Mustang.
Good. That thing, I want the top to be
still line up.
too. You know what I'm saying? Hit that thing, kick. I don't even want to drive it. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to drive it. I want a nice, I need a nice Gentile driving mine. You know what I'm saying? That boy better be shaved. You know what I'm saying? Everything better be on me. I want you to be nice.
A Jaguar?
You know what I'm saying? A Jaguar. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I just sitting in the back of that thing, you know what I'm saying? Laid across the darn seat. Like, you pull out, I need to use the bathroom. Better be a nice Gentile, too. You coming in, you know what I'm saying? I don't want you to know open-toe darn shoes. Your boy better have on some nice boots. You know what I'm talking about? Real nice. I mean, it's just, we going to go see my God. What you mean? You know what I'm saying? We ain't no darn Christians. Better not come at you darn hard. Better line them things up. Get your darn feet done. Do whatever you need to do. We about to go. Better have a Gentile driving mine. That thing. Woo! But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? You never know how it gonna play out. You know what I'm saying? You just saying, you know what I'm saying? Let me see Zechariah. This is Zechariah chapter 3. Give me Zechariah chapter 3, verse 1. Let's try to shoot through this. Try to cover a little bit of ground. Get up out of here. It's late in the day. Or night. It's Zechariah chapter 3, verse 1. Actually, his wife tried to make me feel guilty about that.
What?
So I looked it up.
Feel good about what?
Not running the air. She was like, that's why all y'all sick.
Oh.
It's ridiculous.
Made me mad too. I was like, first of all, you can get off my page talking your mouth. I ain't say nothing to her though. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta check yourself. You try to respond to somebody, you gonna wig out a little bit. So I was just like, you know what? I ain't gonna say nothing. But I looked it up. Doctors say, I don't trust doctors, but I trust this.
Oh my God.
Doctors say,
He gets so much nervous. Look at his little neck. When he talks, his little neck starts peeking up.
doctors say that temperature does not make you sick. Unless, there's two exceptions, you get hypothermia or something else.
Frostbite.
Yeah, frostbite. That's right. Those two. Frostbite, hypothermia. Hypothermia, it weakens your immune system, so therefore you could potentially get sick easier from something completely other than temperature, right? But germs or something else could penetrate more easily if you have hypothermia. And then frostbite, it actually, alters you physically. So, but it doesn't make you sick like a cold. It just could cause your hand to be amputated or something like that. So, with that said, I am putting my family in no additional danger, and I am saving money. You know what I'm talking about? At the end of the day, I feel like I helped these kids. You know what I'm talking about? What you mean? You know what I'm saying? I'm broke out here in these streets. What's wrong with y'all? If anybody out there, if the Lord is moving y'all to send me $7.99 for y'all prayer package. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You talking about why Creflo Dollar get all the money? You know what I'm talking about? He ain't even preaching the word. At least I'm preaching the darn word. You know what I'm saying? Zahar, am I preaching the word? Oh, see, that's what I'm talking. Is your mama preaching the word? Okay, that's a good answer then, son. Usually, if I say anything, me, no. Clearly, I'm doing it. Ask them if their mama doing it. Yes. I mean, their mama did get all the darn credit. He kept it real that he know ain't no woman supposed to be preaching no darn word. Not to no man, at least. Where we at?
Zechariah 3.
It's Zechariah chapter 3. Give me verse 1. Let's see what the book
He
says.
showed me Yahushua the high priest standing before the angel of the Lord, and Satan standing at his right hand to resist him.
Uh-oh.
And the Lord said unto Satan, the Lord rebuke you, O Satan.
Read that again.
And Yahuwah said to Satan, Yahuwah rebuke thee, O Satan.
Mm-hmm.
Even Yahuwah that has chosen Jerusalem rebuke thee.
Mm-hmm.
Is not this a brand plucked out of the fire?
Read it one more time for me.
And Yahuwah...
Go back. Before that.
And the high priest standing before the angel of the Yahuwah, and Satan standing at his right hand to resist him.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahuwah said unto Satan, Yahuwah rebuke thee, O Satan, even Yahuwah that has chosen Jerusalem rebuke thee.
Mm-hmm.
Is not this a brand plucked from the fire? Now Joshua was clothed with filthy garments, and stood before the angel.
Mm-hmm.
And he answered and spake unto those that stood before him, saying, take away...
What verse is that?
4.
Give me, before we go to 4, give me Romans chapter 3. Marcia, this is Romans chapter 3. Give me verse 20. After that, we're going to go to Ephesians. This is Romans chapter 3. Give me verse 20. Talk about it a little bit.
Tell him to cut that out.
See that? You know what I'm saying? That's bundling up.
Stop.
That's how you bundle up.
I had to get off the couch because the leather's cold.
Yeah, just a cheap butter. You just turn on the heater.
Bundle
You
up.
can't call nobody cheap, bro, but you can spin
I
the
can
rest of that.
definitely call
Huh?
somebody cheap.
I'm about to say, I don't know.
How can I not call somebody cheap? Why you defend everybody I talk about?
I don't. I don't have time for your stuff. This is Romans chapter 3. Give me verse 20.
Therefore, by the deeds of the law, there shall no flesh be justified in his sight. For by the law is the knowledge of sin.
Uh-huh.
But now the righteousness of God without the law is manifested, being witnessed by the law and the prophets.
Right? So Yahushua, he was standing, and this is Yeshua, right? So Yeshua, you know what I'm saying, the son of Jehoshaphat, right? He was standing there in front of the Most High God, Satan, and the angels, right? And the book say he was wearing like he was wearing filthy rags, right? So now Romans is telling us no man can be justified before God by what?
By the law.
By the law. Keep going.
In his sight, for by the law is the knowledge of sin.
Okay.
But now the righteousness of God without the law is manifested, being witnessed by the law and the prophets. Even the righteousness of God, which is by faith of Yahushua the Messiah, unto all that call upon them that believe, for there is no difference.
Okay.
For all have sinned and come short of the glory of God.
All have sinned and come short of the glory of God.
Being justified freely by his grace through the redemption that is in the Messiah, Yahushua, whom God set forth to be a propitiation through faith in his blood, to declare his righteousness for the remission of sins that are past through the forbearance of God.
Sins that are what? Past. Important. Words are important when it's in the book. We look at it in the book. It's very clear. You will never see anything in the book that talk to you about cleansing you of future sins. It just never happened. You've done the sin in the past. It's in the past. That's what get cleansed.
Now, how you can get acquitted from a crime you didn't commit?
That thing just don't happen, right? That's not what the book is for. The book is not for giving you some blanket, you know what I'm saying, immunity where you can just go do whatever you want to do. That's not what it's for. That's how people think it, think it is future, present, and past sin. The book never said that.
It's a trap for them, though.
It's a trap.
When we used to pray, we were taught to say, forgive us for our sins knowingly and unknowingly. Ain't
that just a slap in the darn face?
Yeah, no, for real.
Yeah, a slap in the darn face. Just imagine the Most High God. I'm sitting here telling you exactly what I want from you. And you sit here and tell me, whether I know, you ain't picked up the book to know. Right? But whether I know about it or don't know it, whether I did it today or I'm going to do it in the future, God, just cover me with your blood. Just imagine, after the man just told you, I want you to never sin again. And if you read this and increase in knowledge and in love and all these different things, you will be fine. And then you tell him, maybe in the future, hey, hush. It's like, maybe in the future I'll sin again, Lord, but if I do, cover me. Do you know that's like a slap in the face? Dude, you looking like...
Don't put my shoe back.
Like you ain't pick up the book at all, did you? You didn't retain nothing I just told you. Right? Let's see, keep going. What verse is that?
24.
Go ahead.
Oh, wait, we're on 26 now. To declare, I say, at this time his righteousness, that he might be just and the justifier of him which believes in Yahushua. Where is boasting then?
He said, where is boasting then?
It is excluded. By what law? Of works? No, but by the law of faith.
By the law of faith. Watch this, Ephesians chapter 2. Ephesians chapter 2, give me verse 1. It's Ephesians chapter 2, verse 1. Ain't smoke detectors supposed to last longer than a year?
Who?
Smoke detectors.
Yeah, I think so.
I figure out why mom beeping already.
In my house for like 2 years. Them things still working.
Yours be beeping all the time.
No, upstairs they do. Downstairs.
It could be the battery too.
Nah, but I mean,
About 2 years.
ain't the battery?
Brand.
Yeah.
Ain't it supposed to last more than a year though?
It depends on the battery.
So I gotta give me like
You
what,
got one of
Energizer?
them, yeah, you got one of them Dollar Tree batteries? Nah.
The red back or whatever.
Probably do. I don't know. Everything came with the house. They probably did put the cheap ones in there.
Of course they did. They
Well,
tried to like
they
it was
found something they truck. Oh, this is fine.
Yeah.
I dropped that other batteries. You're gonna have 2 mismatched batteries in that thing.
That's probably what happened.
They used to always say don't do that, but we grew up doing
I know,
that
I
thing.
know.
We ain't had no time to find no. That battery is hard to come by.
Alright, you go find it. Oh man, they go one.
We had the batteries in the freezer. You know what I'm talking about? What you mean? You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember putting the batteries in the
We do
freezer?
that all the time, bro.
What?
My dad kept a big packed.
Did that even work?
Yeah.
It worked in my mind.
You
know
Yeah,
what I'm talking
like to us, yeah, but like I used to think, like, did it really work?
As far as I know, it worked.
We used to keep them things in the freezer.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We stayed with batteries in the freezer. Them things run out, they put it in the freezer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A little remote control card and everything we had, put it in the freezer. It's supposed to recharge it. I don't know. I don't know if it actually worked in real life, but in my mind it did.
Yeah, it made it last a little longer.
Yeah, just a little bit longer. You know what I'm saying? Put that thing in the freezer. You ever put the, you know what I'm saying, the 9-1 on your tongue?
No.
Oh, man.
I was too scared to. I knew people that did, but I was.
Y'all ain't living. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't living. You put that 9-1 on your tongue, that thing felt like, you know what I'm saying? That thing felt like, you know what I'm saying? Somebody pushed a flame on your tongue. Just, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Weirdo.
We were darn bad. You know what I'm saying?
I'm from the country. We did all types of stuff.
You put the 9-1 on your tongue
All
before?
types of stuff, boy.
Yeah, man, I hear you, man.
I was too scared to that.
What is appealing about
Now, did y'all used
you
to
know
take
what
the?
it's for?
Did y'all used to
You
take?
know
Hey,
your tongue is wet.
did y'all used
Sometimes you
to?
gotta live on the edge.
You want to see what it feels like?
Did y'all used to take the raid and the lighter?
Yeah, well.
Yeah, that was.
Not red though. Yeah, hairspray is what you usually have.
Not bad.
Well, we had roaches in our house when I was growing up,
Oh.
so we always had raid.
Hairspray and the lighter.
But yeah, you know, the hairspray and the lighter. You know what I'm saying? My bad brother, he used to always do that thing and do it at us. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's messed up.
You know what I'm saying? That thing be crazy.
He made that big old burn hole in you.
Who?
Randy.
Oh,
He
no,
tried
not
to
him.
cover it up. Remember? I was telling him about the story.
He bad. His boy was bad and spoiled. What we got? Where we at?
Yeah, Randy looked like he ain't even getting no whoopings.
Nah, he ain't getting no whooping.
Ephesians 2:1.
This is Ephesians chapter 2. Give me verse 1.
And you hath he quickened who were dead in trespasses and sins.
When it say quicken, that means it means made alive, right? So he's saying you have he made alive, right? Keep going.
Who were dead in trespasses and sins, wherein in time past you walked according to the course of this world.
In time what?
In time past.
Right? In time past. So we just read in Romans the sins that were past, and now he said in time past you walked away, you were dead, right? But he made you alive because in time past you walked away as the world. Okay, keep going.
According to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now works in the children of disobedience.
Mm-hmm.
Among whom also we all had our conversation in time past in the lust of our flesh.
Again, time past in the lust of our flesh.
Fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind, and were by nature the children of wrath, even as others. But God, who was rich in mercy, for his great love wherewith he loved us, even when we were dead in sins, has quickened us together with the Messiah.
Mm-hmm.
By grace you are saved,
Mm-hmm.
and has raised us up together and made us sit together in heavenly places in the Messiah Yahushua, that in the ages to come he might show the exceeding riches of his grace and his kindness towards us through the Messiah Yahushua. For by grace are you saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of God.
Mm-hmm.
Not of works, lest any man should boast.
He said, not of works, lest anyone should boast.
For we are his workmanship, created in the Messiah unto good works.
On to what?
Good works.
I got that. You know the beautiful thing about this word is like if you just keep reading, everything will be cleared up, right? A lot of Christians will stop right there. Not of works, lest anyone should boast, right? We start off with it, right? Matter of fact, I like starting off with it because I don't want any Christian to be feeling like I don't like, you got Hebrew Israelites, right? And sometimes we get confused with them. Today I got confused with
Yeah,
one.
I get that too.
Today I got confused when I was saying, she was like, oh, it's a, you know what I'm saying, a beautiful black lady. You know what I'm saying? Not beautiful like that, baby. But I just mean beautiful as in like she's nice.
Conversation.
And yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like she has a, you know what I'm saying? She has one of those sweet, kind spirits, right? But she an older lady, you know what I'm saying? Older lady. And she's like, just a Christian can be. She came over excited to me one time. And she was like, my husband and I got ordained as pastors. And I'm like, you got ordained as pastor? She's like, yeah, me and my husband.
Does she only teach women?
I ain't get into it. I was just like, oh, all right. I was like, oh, you a Christian? She's like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay, I see. I was like, makes sense. I get it. She's like, all right, well, yeah, this, that, and another. She's like, you want to see the video? I'm like, yeah, let me see the video. Let me see what's going on. And so I started laughing because in the video, it's one of them churches. You know what I'm saying? One of them. Everybody falling out. The usher come run, put the little cover over the woman, make sure ain't nobody looking up her skirt and stuff. So it was one of them. So I started laughing. I was like, I see where you come from. She like, yeah, spirit was moving in there. I was like, so I'm moving. You know what I'm saying? For sure. So she ain't really caught nothing so far. You know what I'm saying? But today, you know what I'm saying? They told her, I guess, somebody must have been talking about me and said I don't celebrate Christmas. Because, right now they planning out who they going to give gifts to. So I'm pretty sure the conversation came up. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no, not Philip. He don't celebrate Christmas. So at the end of the day, she stopped me. We just left a meeting. She was like, come over here. Now, she outranked me about 2 or 3 levels. You know what I'm saying? She a VP. You know what I'm saying? She one of like the highest ranked black people in there. You know what I'm saying? New there, though. And she was like, you know what I'm saying? I heard you don't celebrate Christmas. And I know you're not a Jehovah's Witness. Again, she's from Chicago. So, she know about Hebrew Israelite. Yeah. She was like, I know you're not a Jehovah's Witness. I was like, no, I'm not a Jehovah's Witness at all. You know what I'm saying? I was like, no, don't celebrate Christmas. She was like, oh, so like, why? Why don't you celebrate Christmas? I was like, it's just based off a lie. You know, that's it. I try not to do that stuff that's based off a lie. She was like, well, they always make it about them. She, being nice, respect. She was like, well, me, my pastor teach. No. Before she got into it, I said, it is based off a lie. You know what I'm saying? And I take that type of stuff serious because me personally, you know what I'm saying? I told her, it's 2 reasons I don't. 1, because of religion, and 2, because of history. You know what I'm saying? I was like, in terms of religion, it's based off a lie. I was like, in terms of 2, when you look at the history of our people, you know what I'm talking about? I was like, we taught Romans about the Bible, you know what I'm saying, what we consider the Bible now, and 300 some years later they came up with this Christmas stuff, and it's based off of other pagan stuff, just, probably to get pagans in. And I was like, and from my personal history, I have my own private testimony that I was a Christian. I was a Christian. We sitting there laughing. I was a Christian of Christians. I was like, you let somebody write on Facebook or write Xmas to me. I was like, you are Xing Christ out of Christmas. You know what I'm saying? I was like, you couldn't get more Christian than me. You know what I'm talking about? Huh?
That's the only way I'll write it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like you put you Xing Christ out of Christmas. He's the reason for the season. What you mean? You know what I'm talking about? So I told her I was making fun of her when I was really doing it. So I was like, but I was a Christian of the Christians. You know what I'm talking about? And I was like,
It's a hard stop.
y'all cut it out in there. So I was like, all right, well, so I was like, that was my personal testimony. But then I saw a movie called Zeitgeist Theory. And in the beginning of it, I'm thinking I'm watching something on 9/11 and the money system. But the very intro, like in the very beginning, they spent the whole time just breaking down Christianity. And that shattered my faith. And I was like, you know why? Because I always thought Christianity and Christmas and all this stuff was in the Bible. So that shattered me. And I was like, for that reason, I understand you could do. I'm not trying to tell you to do nothing. You do however you want. But for me, I always want to represent what's clear-cut truth to avoid any confusion. That way, when people look at what I do, it ain't even like, I'm cutting no deal. No. It's exactly what the words say. She was like, so why don't you celebrate Resurrection Sunday? I was like, well, I can answer that 2 ways. I was like, well, Resurrection Sunday is not in the Bible. However, Yahushua did resurrect on a Sunday. We call that the first fruit sheaf waving, which is in the Bible. And I do celebrate that. She was like, oh. I was like, I'll celebrate Passover and the week of unleavened bread. And we count 7 weeks from the sheaf waving, and we get the Feast of Weeks. And then we celebrate the Day of Trumpets and the Day of Atonement and the Ingathering. And then we celebrate Purim. I was like, and Hanukkah is the day of our people, but we don't celebrate that one either because it's not in the book. So we celebrate the stuff that's in the book. Nothing wrong with celebrating the stuff. I think it is a legitimate day for our people, but it's not in our book. Therefore, we don't celebrate it. So I was like, again, what I try to do is everything in the book, I uphold it. She was like, oh. She was like, I heard you say Yahushua, and I heard you say our people in Israel in Hebrew. You a Hebrew Israelite?
You ain't hear nothing else.
So I was like,
nothing else I just showed.
Listen, I was like, she was like, you a Hebrew Israelite? I said, well, I'm a Hebrew. I'm an Israelite. There's no such thing as a Hebrew Israelite. She was like, And I was like, yeah. I was like, honestly, I kind of get stuck into this middle ground. You know what I'm saying? I was like, if I talk to a Hebrew Israelite, I was like, if I talk to a Hebrew Israelite, guess what they call me? She was like, what? I said, a Christian. And I was like, just talk to a Christian, like you, guess what you call? Hebrew Israelite. I was like, so now I'm just stuck in this place. But I was like, she was like, well, what are you then? I was like, I already told you, I'm a disciple. She was like, a disciple? Okay. She from Chicago, so I'm thinking about it right now. She probably thought like gangster disciple or something. Yeah. I didn't even think about that thing till now. But she's like, a disciple. I was like, yeah, disciple of the Messiah. You know what I'm saying? She's like, okay. She was like, yeah. Then she could start.
Just ask her, like, have you ever read the Bible?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I ain't want to get into it like that at work. I only wanted to go as far as she took it. You know what I'm saying? You ask a question, we go. You know what I'm saying? You don't ask a question, we leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? You keep doing, you mosey along, do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? How far you want to go. You know what I'm saying? This is the other dude, you know what I'm saying, that work with me. He be watching the videos now. You know what I'm saying? I told you about him a few times, but he the funny one that be making all the white people over there uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause he always like today he came over talking about I moved back to the fraud department. And so he was like, yeah, affirmative action. And he'd be like loud, super inappropriate stuff, super loud. He was like, yeah, affirmative action. He was like, They had to bring him back over here to get their numbers right. I laughed so hard because the woman he had talking to, she Cuban. So technically, you know what I'm saying, she would qualify too, but she has no idea what he's talking about. But she knows it's something inappropriate, so she's like, I don't even know what that is. I just wanted to celebrate the fact that Phil. So she knows it's something like race is involved, but she's like, I'm not racist. It was the funniest thing. I was like, you are stupid. You have to stop messing with these people before they fire you, bro. That thing be hilarious though. You know what I'm saying? But he be watching too. He be like, yeah, he come over every time. Usually on Monday, he be like, oh, you preach that word on Friday. You know what I'm saying? He be like, oh man, I'd have never knew. You know what I'm saying? Just seeing you walk around here, I'd have never knew. I was like, hey, you pay attention. Bro, he was like, I don't cuss. I ain't lying to nobody in here. I was like, you pay attention. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, at work, you know what I'm saying? When they hit me with that, it was a dude, you know what I'm saying? He was like, he be in that Egypt stuff. One time he came, he was like, Hebrew Israelite, right? I was like, now, although I am a Hebrew, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I do not partake in the sect of what they call Hebrew Israelite. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
We gotta separate ourselves from all this.
Right. I was like, no, I was like, in no way am I of the sect of the Hebrew
Israelite.
Israelite.
I tell a few people that because I post something, they're like, oh, you sharing the Hebrew Israelite doctrine? I'm like, no.
Right, man.
I'm not like, no. I don't even.
Them boys crazy.
I don't know anybody about that.
I ran into one in the mall. I had to walk away from him, bro, because I got that tingling feeling like right before you about to scrap. I was like, yeah, I got to get away from this dude because I don't want to swing on nobody right now.
Yeah, buddy.
It's crazy.
That's how it go, man. It's important. It's important that we able to understand who we are. A lot of these people don't know who they are. Like I'm talking to this woman, and honestly, when I say it, I believe her to be a beautiful person, like a human, like a beautiful human. Like she seems a very kind, respectful, you know what I'm saying, like very sweet lady. You know what I'm saying? And I've had multiple conversations with her to make me believe this stuff. So it's like I already like really have like an affinity for it. Like you are like you my people. Like we cool. You know what I'm saying? Like anything happening around here, I got your back. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never told her that, don't need to. But that's a fact. Like anything happening around here, I got your back. Don't worry about it. Cause I like good people. I like cool people. You know what I'm saying? That said though, do you think she has any idea? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you think she has any? She's been raised in a church with a pastor that taught her only so much. And her pastor probably has no idea. She said her pastor teach her about, when I brought up Christmas and I brought up me being deceived about Christmas, she was like, well, no. See, my pastor, he teaches us. You know what I'm saying? That Christmas is not in the Bible. Easter is not in the Bible. This, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, maybe we celebrate it or not. She's like, I stopped celebrating for a while because of it. You know, like, and I started back and now it's just like, it's like whatever, you know, it's like, You know, you let people believe what they want to believe. I'm like, all right, you let people believe what you want to believe. You know what I'm saying? You do whatever you want to do. I'll let me personally, I ain't gonna do it. But I understand exactly what you're saying. I would never try to stop you from believing, so I wouldn't expect you to stop somebody else from believing. She was like, yeah. I was like, and had I had your pastor, that would have been one thing that I probably wouldn't have been deceived about. Now, I said that on purpose. Like, it's one thing. One thing that I probably wouldn't have been deceived. I was like, my pastor didn't teach that. My pastor didn't celebrate Christmas. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I got that. But I was like, but I just want you to know, it's a world full of those type of lies. And a lot of it is attached to Christianity. You know what I'm saying? That's as far as we go. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you got more questions, you let me know. We can work this thing out. But that's all she needs. Right? She need somebody to be like, this is how the book works. This is what's wrong and this is what's not. And there's not many people out there that's willing to do it. Or that has it to do it. Right? So then you get people that get so invested into these denominations, or these non-denominations as she would call it, and it becomes detrimental. You know what I want to do? I was talking to the brother, and I was just kind of letting them know, like this type of stuff that I do. You know what I'm saying? When I talk about like people that I know at work or conversations that I had, you know what I'm saying? It's another. Like, we were talking about how that could be offensive to people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might, you know, like, make people, it's like, yeah, it can. I'm pretty sure. You know, I'm pretty sure, like if she decides, she know about the website and all that. So if she decided to tune in tonight based off our conversation, which is very possible, then she might look at this and be like, I can't believe, right? I can't believe. But I just don't see it that way. Like, it's not, I would never use her name. I would never do nothing. I'd never put her picture up here and be like her. You know what I'm saying? I have no interest in doing that. But what I do have an interest in is using real life. Like, stuff is real. And if we sit here and play around and we keep using like these hypothetical scenarios to try to describe something, like, people would never attach to it. Like, I want to use real stuff. That's why when I talk about the Bible, I try to make it real. Like, I want you, when Yahushua was walking down this path and people were saying this about him, like, I don't want us to just read it and let it glance over. I want to talk about, why do you think people would say that? Do you think it's strange? Do you think everybody just evil in their own mind and just trying to? No, these are real situations. People are really going through stuff, and we have to connect it. Otherwise, this stuff go over our head. But I was telling them what I want to do is I was like, it would be worth my while to, instead of just having a random argument on Facebook, no, I want to have that argument on Facebook, and I want to make clips about it. Then I want to get on the video and I want to say, okay, this is what this brother said. Not because I want to put this person on blast, but this is what people think. Like, if I'm arguing with you, people think the same way you think. So now let's teach people where you went wrong. I don't care. I'll block out your darn name. I'll hide your picture. I don't care nothing about that stuff. Yeah, I don't care nothing about making myself look good or this, that, and another. I don't mind doing it even if I'm wrong about something. I'm never wrong. But I'm just saying, right? If there was a situation, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind. Yeah, so this is where my thinking was off. Right? It's important to understand why. Otherwise, we just sitting here you can't articulate nothing. You can't stand on anything. She was actually the same person. She was telling me that one of the reasons why she just can't stand Hebrew Israelites is because when she was getting married, her best friend, you know what I'm saying, her best friend had just gotten married, I think a month before, to a Hebrew Israelite. He wasn't a Hebrew Israelite at the time, I guess, but he subsequently became a Hebrew Israelite. But she is like, I felt something, she is like, in my spirit, you know what I'm saying, I felt that something was off with this brother. And I was like, okay. And then her friend married him. Later on, her friend, her friend's husband, said, I'm going to bring another woman into the picture, right? Because he's a Hebrew Israelite, I guess, at this point, and he believes in multiple women marriages. So he's like, I'm going to bring another woman into the picture. And so it created like a whole bunch of drama, damaged the woman. Now she got to get a divorce. So she ended up divorcing the man much, much later after all this mental abuse that she's going through because of all this silliness. But she ends up in divorce. So now that ruins her life. So I was like, I feel you. That stuff, just angers me too. You know what I'm saying? It's just disgusts me. You know what I'm saying? But you look at this stuff, it's like, how are you going to know? So now her whole idea is based off of this. Yeah. You have another, her understanding of Hebrew Israelites is based off of this incorrect thinking, right? These are real people. He thinks this is okay. He doesn't know why he thinks it's okay. Somebody just taught him that it's okay, and he's using it to be in his flesh. And then the woman, the wife in that situation, is damaged because she made a compromise, probably because of love. Because of lust, really. Right? So I lust after this man. He's my husband, and he's lusting after another woman, and I don't want to lose him. And for that reason, I'm going to cut a corner. So these are all three perspectives. This is how I see this stuff. These are three perspectives of real people that other real people have that same perspective. I would love to put that on display. Not with the real people, but I would love to take these real scenarios, these real thoughts, these real struggles, and put it on display for people to see and identify with and say, specifically in this scenario, this is how you get around it. We can't just say, oh, well, God will work you through your situation. No. What's your situation? Let's talk about your actual situation. Right? Let's see exactly what happened. How did you get through it? What were your missteps? What could you have done differently? Let's talk about really how to get through this stuff. This stuff is too real. This is why people are not connecting with this stuff, because it's not real to them. You're just sitting here speaking through them, speaking past them, speaking above them. No, I'm trying to speak to y'all. If you believe this doctrine, I want to break down the doctrine and tell you why you believe it. I'm going to tell you why you believe it. Right? I get it. I want you to understand. I get it. I understand. Like, you were lied to. You believe this. You made this assumption. Right? You didn't read this. Great. Let me show you the correct way now. Right? I can bridge the gap from here to here. I just got to tear down all this and then build you back up this way. I don't know where we are. Where we are?
Ephesians.
We are.
Here's Ephesians chapter 2. This is probably about verse 9, 7.
Nah.
This is Ephesians chapter 2. Give me verse 9.
Not of works, lest any man should boast. For we are of his workmanship, created in the Messiah.
So he said, we are his workmanship. This is how the book always line you up. You say, not of works, lest any man should boast. So you would think, it ain't about, that's a Christian mantra. It ain't about what you do. It ain't nothing you could do to make God love you any more or any less. That got that for a Christian.
My mama told me that.
Oh, my mama. Goodness gracious, that thing. You think you can work for God's love?
Had the boy feeling terrible too.
I used to be like, goodness gracious, I was trying to work for it.
Yeah. You was going in the right direction. They just say one thing and just derail you all the way.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe I should just sit here in one spot. Like, do I sit Indian style? You know what I'm talking about? Like, how do I make sure that, you know what I'm saying, I'm saved? Because I don't want to do nothing to be saved. Because then I'll mess around and not be saved. Let me tell you, if I try to do something to be saved, then I'm not saved. So I just need to feel like, what position do I sit in to properly not be doing nothing? The insanity that we've been taught, but this stuff made sense to us. That's the scary part. Yeah. This stuff, we made ourselves believe this stuff made sense.
That's being deceived. You don't know you're deceived. There's no wiggle room.
No wiggle room.
You don't know you're deceived.
That's how it works. So the man said, not of works, lest anyone should boast. If you stop right there, that got that. There's no work involved. God give it to you as a free gift. You didn't have to do anything while you were yet a sinner. These are all real Bible verses, by the way. Right? But look at this one. Right after he said that, not of works, lest anyone should boast. What did he say next?
For we are his workmanship created.
We are his workmanship created what?
In the Messiah.
Created in what?
Yes, Yahushua unto good works.
Onto what?
Good works.
End of the day, what you doing? Get your butt up and work. What's wrong with you? You thought this thing, what's wrong with you? But they never gonna read that part.
I work. My Father works. I work. What do you say? There's not enough workmen for the plow, did he say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He said the field is ripe, not enough workmen for the...
All right? That's how all this stuff works. It's not of works, lest anyone should boast. Because we are created in the Messiah unto good works. The proof is always in the pudding, right? At the end of the day, He's trying to, the Bible we talk about all the time. The Bible is diagnosing something, right? It's just telling you like, this is what it looked like, right? When you disease, it looked like this. When you healthy, it looked like this, right? So it's just letting you know. It ain't trying to tell you nothing other than if you are a righteous man, you gonna live this way. If you are gonna end up in hell, you gonna live this way, period. So he's trying to tell you, it's not of works, lest anyone should boast. Your butt gonna be created onto good works. So if you look at your life and it's like, oh, I ain't got no good works. Matter of fact, I got bad works. That tells you, ooh. Right? Ooh, that's not the grace of God.
Yeah, it's the book said the boundaries on you, man.
You gotta have them. You need them. Mess around, be all over the place without them. Just like these people are. All right, let me see what else we got. This is Luke chapter 15. Let's try to get up out of here. This is Luke chapter 15. Excuse me, this is Luke chapter 1 to say. Luke chapter 1 verse 5. What is this? Luke chapter 15. Now that's what I want. Luke chapter 1 verse 5. What's that?
He's telling a story about Elizabeth and John Baptist.
It's Luke chapter 1 verse 5. Why don't I write that down?
No, that's John. Yeah, it is.
That's Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Trying to figure out where I was going with this.
Hold on, let me see. There was in the days of Herod a king of Judah, a certain priest named Zechariah, of the course of Abia.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have a hot dog?
Again, boy? What's it
Yeah,
We'll eat later.
So we ever know?
Luke chapter 1 verse 5.
Thanks.
And his wife was of the daughters of Aaron, and her name was Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
And they were both righteous before God, walking in all commandments and ordinances of the Lord.
Oh, I know where I'm going with this.
Blameless.
Yeah, righteous before God what?
Blameless. Walking in all commandments of the ordinance of the Lord. Blameless.
Right? Why would this make sense based off of what we've read so far?
Because they would say, thank God for Jesus, because before him,
No one.
right, no one could fulfill the law, no one can do the law.
Is that before Jesus?
This is definitely before Jesus. Yahshua. So, this lets us know that before Yahshua, there was some that kept the law exactly how it's supposed to be kept. Not saying that they didn't sin. It's just whatever they did do, they did according to the law to try to, make up for what they did.
We started out, when we start going down this little tangent, we started out with Romans chapter 3. What did Romans chapter 3? Who remembers what Romans chapter 3 just told us?
All have sinned and come short of the glory of God.
Right? And it told us no man is righteous according to the law.
That's right.
Right? Then we read this and it say, read it again for me.
And they were both righteous before God, walking in all the commandments of the ordinances of the Lord blameless.
Feels like a contradiction.
Feels like. But if you keep reading.
This is the type of stuff, if you are an honest Christian, it will lead you to the truth. This is the type of stuff that they just ignore, glance over, don't want to deal with it. Because at first glance, it feels like a contradiction. On one hand, you telling me nobody is righteous according to the law. Then on the other hand, you telling me that these people walked according to the law. They righteous before God and they are blameless.
So like my man said, we got to live in the supernatural. He gave us the law to govern the flesh.
Mm-hmm.
Yahushua came to govern the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And the Most High can't be around any flesh because you got to be spiritual. You got to be clean, right? So they were righteous according to the flesh, according to the law, according to living in the land. He gave us specific rules to live in the land. This is how you live in the land. When Yahushua came, he said he's going to teach us how to live in his kingdom where ain't no flesh allowed, right? So Yahushua was like an upgrade of what the Most High was trying to do.
So here's an example. The law tells us, thou shalt not. What's it? Why don't you give me one?
Thou shalt not. Oh, what's a good one?
You can go steal, right? It's pretty commercial, but that's all right, steal.
It's commercial.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So thou shalt not steal, right? If I steal, do I get put to death?
No.
Okay. So I steal.
Gotta pay it back fourfold.
Okay. So I steal from Shanice. I take $1 from Shanice.
Gotta give it back
$4.
Yeah.
So I give Shanice back $4. Got to do my sin offering.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
See the priest.
See the priest.
Make your sacrifice.
Then after that, then what?
You could restitution. Like you could.
So now, if I continue to keep the law, what stance do I have with God?
You did everything. You did what I asked you to do.
Blameless.
Yeah. I can't blame you for that. You paid her back.
I kept. So although I broke the law, I kept the law in getting my restitution or giving restitution. Mm-hmm. That makes me blameless. Right? I've done what I'm supposed to do. Now, some sins, the law say kill you. Ain't no coming back from that. You done. Right? You done. So when the book calls Elizabeth and Zechariah blameless, these are the mother and father of these are the parents of John the Baptist. When the book called them blameless, according to the ordinances, that's what it's talking about. That doesn't mean that they didn't sin, right? So that's why Romans in this can be reconciled. Romans is saying no man is righteous before God, according to the law, because everyone is sin. Remember, sin according to the law, sin comes with what?
Death.
A curse.
Yeah.
Right? It comes with a curse.
Right.
And a curse will destine you for death. Right? But your standing according to the law can still give you righteousness or blamelessness according to the law.
It's like you blameless, but you still cursed.
Now, the book, right? So blameless, right? According to the law, still cursed. The book, before Yahushua, gave us something. We ain't got to get it. But in Ezekiel, what did it tell us?
I'll be a little sanctuary to you wherever you go.
That too, but what else? Ezekiel. What did Ezekiel tell us? Talking about righteousness.
Man, if a man does righteousness, he is righteous.
Oh yeah. It said, didn't it say like if a man turn away from
righteousness, he is unrighteous.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
But if a man turn away from unrighteousness, what happens?
And do sin, he's
No. Turn away from unrighteousness. So turn away from sin.
Okay.
And they do righteousness. What happens?
His sin will not be remembered.
Got that. Mm-hmm. Right? So now the mechanism, so the way this works, remember, the Most High God is playing stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like he all over with it, right? He telling you stuff from the beginning that ain't even happened yet, right? So the mechanism that the Most High God is using to make that statement is Yahushua. Like the only reason the Most High God can tell you, although my law says this and that you're cursed, the only way I can say, hey, you will live if you turn away from sin is because I know in the future I'm going to send my son to die for you. So in that same way, using that same, Yahushua ain't came yet, using that same logic that he set forth with Ezekiel, that's how Elizabeth and Zechariah can be blameless before the Most High God. Using the mechanism that they had, right, which is the law, they obeyed it, maybe made a mistake. We don't have no documentation of it, but we know all have sinned, right? So maybe they made a mistake that didn't cost them their life, as long as they made restitution and they turned from it, or as long as mercy was given to them and it wasn't found out by the priest, right, or the judges, then they can turn from it and continue to move forward. If the Most High God gave them that opportunity, then that means that he's forgotten their sins based off of what he's going to do in the future through Yahushua. Therefore, they are righteous and blameless before him. Right? It doesn't mean, don't ever think that the law is impossible to keep. Right? It's impossible to keep without flaw. Right? But it's not something that no one can follow. Right? You can follow the law. You've seen it done.
Job was one, right?
Job didn't have the law though.
Oh, right.
Right? But Job was someone who walked upright before God based off of what the Most High God set expectations for at that time.
King David only messed up in the matter of Uriah.
Right.
That's documented.
Right? But King David followed the law. Like, yeah, sure, he made mistakes and he did stuff and he sinned. Right? But after that, you repent and you follow the law. It's doable. You can do it. The expectation that we set forth is not about whether we're talking about law or the law of Yahushua, right? It's not about never, ever sinning. That's not what we're saying. All people have sinned, right? We're saying never, ever sinning again, right? There's a difference. There's a big difference, right? I'm not saying live your whole life without sin. That's crazy. All have sinned. What I'm telling you is, once you recognize and once you come to the truth, just don't do it again. If you do it again,
There's plenty of
we have an advocate.
There's plenty of lessons
Right?
that people learned as kids. Like, I remember I did this and I've never done it again, right? I remember how that made me feel. I've never done it again. You know what I mean? Like, even me when I was little, my mom was like, I would go out and hang out and I asked her to come pick me up. She was like, don't you ever leave nowhere without ride back. I'd never do it again. There's plenty of stuff that we can understand. Like, okay, once we understand that this is not cool, don't do it again. That's all we say. Just don't do it again. And it's definitely possible.
It's more than possible. And that's the law. Right? When it comes to what Yahushua command, that's not even a possible. That's a must if you want to see kingdom. Right? The law is just, you know what I'm saying? Like the law, as long as you do what Yahushua say, the law just gets you further. You know what I'm talking about? That's good. That's just good to get you further. Don't eat no darn pork is good. It's good for you not to eat pork. Right? The law is for you. Like, think about it. The main parts of the law, really, outside of what Yahushua would teach, right? Because the majority of the law, if you follow what Yahushua would teach, you doing the law, right? The majority of it, right? But then there's certain aspects like feast days, what you're eating, you know what I'm saying, and certain cleanliness things that govern your body and all that type of stuff, right? Those are the things that would not be covered by what Yahushua would teach. But remember, those things are for you. Even the feast days. Feast days are celebrations. Feast days put you in a mind state, in a place where you can see something, right? When we look at the Feast of Weeks, right, in the book called Pentecost, but we look at the Feast of Weeks in Acts 2, the people who celebrated the Feast of Weeks, as the book described, they were able to be in a place to see a miracle. That was for them. If a person wasn't there, there's a lot of people that weren't there that day, and later on they end up, getting the Holy Spirit. Or having, or being baptized. Right? So that was for them, right? Because they obeyed that, they were able to see something that a lot of people just weren't able to see. That's how the feast days are for us. We're gonna be able to see stuff by keeping these things. There's gonna be a time where something's gonna happen on those days that other people are not gonna experience because we've separated ourselves and we put ourselves in the position to look for something on those days. Right? So a lot of this stuff is for us. By doing that, y'all make us great in the kingdom. Right? But the crux of it is obeying what Yahushua said. If Yahushua gave a commandment, do it. Any question? All right, let's pray out.
Yeah, bro.